All right, boys, welcome to the first day of the Spartan 60-day Calisthenic Challenge. All right, we're gonna start off this day with everybody's favorite day, leg day. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get started with calf bounces. All right, so you flex your calf and you kick yourself off the ground. All right, so we're gonna do this for about 30 seconds. All right, it's just some normal bouncing, nothing big, nothing crazy. All right, I'm keeping track of the time in my head, 10 seconds. So when I tell you to start, you just get up on it and we'll be rolling on through until I tell you to stop. 20 seconds. All right, keep bouncing on your calves specifically. If you don't, you're gonna hurt your knees, all right, because landing on your bones puts pressure on your knees. 30, all right? Now, we're gonna do jumping jacks. In the same fashion, you're gonna extend your calves in order to bounce yourself, all right? Don't jump, all right? The impact's gonna hurt your knees, especially for those of us that have more body weight, all right? Go ahead and start. Ten. All right, so we're starting up with a warm-up like this to get the blood flowing. Normally the body has all the blood, 20, kept in the upper extremities. All right, because normally we're not using our legs much. So we got to get the blood flowing. 30, go ahead and stop. While you're doing all these exercises, guys, maintain your breathing through your nose and out your mouth. The purpose of this is to control your breathing, all right? Your body's gonna be wanting to go into like a dog, all right? But that's not how we're supposed to take in oxygen. You don't need that much oxygen, your brain's just panicking, all right? So you control your body. And as you resist that urge to start panting, you develop yourself mentally as well as physically. So the first thing we're gonna get started with is body squats. We're gonna do 15 of these, all right? Now, I'm trying to break you. I'm trying to make this hard on you. But I'm not trying to kill you. So I'm gonna give amounts and I'm gonna give time frames for all of these exercises and all of these sets and reps. All right, I want you to do as many as you can, adhering to the plan, but don't kill yourself to where you don't want to do it anymore. But before you give up, give yourself a minute to rest, to regain your breath, and give it another shot. You might surprise yourself. All right, so we're gonna do body squats. The important thing about a body squat is you're not dropping down like this. You're poking your butt out, all right? You're sliding your butt this way. And as you slide your butt that way, naturally, your knees will want to bend because you're hinging at your hips, all right? And when you load the weight this way, it activates your glutes and your hamstrings. So it activates the lower posterior chain, all right? Most of us don't have a mind-body connection between the lower posterior chain and ourselves. 6, we're doing 15 of these. All right, and we don't have that connection because we have chairs. And chairs have completely removed the need for us to be squatting. All right, so keep an eye at the pace that I'm doing these exercises at. You don't want to just blow through them, all right, because there's 3 parts to every exercise. There's the eccentric, which is the lowering, all right, that's 10 by the way. The isometric, which is holding it at the peak of force. All right, so an isometric, you've probably heard that before as far as planks. It's the same thing. And the concentric, which is the explosive against the direction of force, which in this case is gravity. So that's the upward. All right, So there's 3 parts to every movement, and if you're only doing this, you're only getting the upward one, and you're missing 2/3 of the rest of the exercise, and you're cheating yourself. All right? So screw that. We're not going to do that. We're going to do this slow and controlled. All right? You're driving through your heels when you do this, okay? You lower yourself and you push up through the heels. You're going to throw yourself off balance. That's fine. Look at my toes. They're basically not even on the ground. They don't need to be. If you're pushing through your toes, you're activating your quads and your knees. All right, if you're pushing through the heel, you're activating the calf, the hamstring, and the glute to activate the lower posterior chain. That was 15. Now we're going to go into push-ups. All right, so push-ups nice and easy. Now, with this, you want to make this pocket of your hands to be about par with your nipples. All right, the purpose of this is to get your hand placement right. In addition to that, you want your arm to be straight up and down. You want your shoulder to be directly above your wrist. And you want this so that your body can properly maintain the force. You don't want to be like this. You don't want to be like this. You want to be directly above it. Now, I'm going to have you do 15 push-ups. All right? You're going to lower yourself. All right? And you're not straightening and unstraightening your elbows. That's not what you're doing. You're lowering yourself, and then you're driving your palms into the ground to activate the chest. All right, if you're not driving your palms into the ground and you're just letting your elbows go out, you're gonna feel only in your triceps, and you're not gonna feel shit in your chest. All right, which is defeating the purpose of this exercise, because we want you to feel it in your triceps, yes. It's a supporting muscle, it's called the synergist muscle to your chest. But we don't want it to be isolated to just that. We want to get your chest going. All right, so you lower yourself. Don't let your elbows be outwards like this, like a T shape. You don't want that. You don't want to make a T shape, because just as when you're producing force like this, all right, it's your shoulders going like this. All right, your chest isn't doing anything. So it's the same when you're on the ground. If your elbows are bowing out, it's your shoulders doing all the work. All right, and we're doing shoulder day tomorrow, so don't worry about that. So lower yourself, push yourself up. We're going to do 15 of these. If regular push-ups are too hard, and that's perfectly fine, do as many regular ones as you can. That's 7. And then adjust to on your knees. It'll lower your weight and still give you good push-ups. All right? The trick is to keep your body straight. You don't want to be like this, because that's nothing. You want to keep your body straight. "12, 15. All right, now we're going to go into what's known as single leg calf raises. All right, so you can do this without supporting yourself on something. You're going to throw yourself off balance though, so it's kind of hard. But throwing yourself off balance and being able to maintain it is known as stability training, which helps your muscles. It helps the little muscles in between all the big muscles. So it does improve your strength. But we'll touch on that later. So for now, just do single leg calf raises. And you'll notice I'm breathing through my mouth a lot, but that's because I have to communicate with you guys. That's 5. We're going to do 25 of these. All right, I told you I'm going to push you guys because that's what we all need. All right? But that's 10. If you can't do 25 and you can only get 20 or 15, that's fine. Go with what you can do. I'm just setting the bar. If you can't reach it today, hit it tomorrow. That's fine. It gives you a goal, 15. All right, this will give you a nice burn. 20. My hand's really just resting on it. I'm not putting my body weight on it. I'm just using it to counteract me falling over. 25. 5. I'm here with you guys, all right? So you ask me questions you need. You tell me fears you have, anything you got, concerns. 10. We'll work through it together. It's no sweat. All right, so for these types of exercises, the isometric is at the peak. All right, for squatting, it's at the bottom, all right, which is the peak of force. But for this calf raise, it's at the top. So you hold that calf completely flexed for about 1 to 2 seconds, as long as you can. 20. All right, it's gonna give you the most burn. All right, but that burn, you better get comfortable with it, because that's gonna be your new home. All right, you get comfortable with it, you make a nice fucking chair there, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna love it. 25. Because that's where the growth is happening. That burn is your body breaking down, and that process of your body breaking down is what gives it the ability to tear the muscle, and as the muscle tears, all right, it fills in the gaps between the tear, and now your muscle's bigger. All right, so it's just a natural process of it. It hurts, all right, and for the first week or two it's gonna suck, but after that it's gonna feel really good. All right, so now we're gonna do what's known as boat holds. So boat hold is a little interesting, and as the name implies, we're molding our body to the shape of a boat, as if you were at the bow of it. All right, so like the pointy part's coming in here, and you're holding it here, and then you're holding the outside of the boat here. So you use your abs to lift your torso up. All right, you don't sit up, you curl the top half of your torso up, and you hug the boat. All right, so as you're hugging the boat, lightly squeeze in here, all right, because it makes all the muscles taut, and you can feel them pulling on one another. All right, if you can't feel the muscles pulling, all right, it means that they're not taut and you can't tell what you're working out. So you're gonna lift your legs off the ground and you're gonna hug the boat. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds. Ten. You will be readjusting yourself the entire time you're doing this. That's fine. All right, constantly pull yourself back up when you notice yourself falling. 20. 30. Good shit, guys. All right, now we're gonna do what's known as a single leg glute bridge. All right, and I wanna show you a stretch before we get into it. All right, so this is called a hamstring stretch, and most of you probably know hamstring stretches is doing this shit. This does nothing unless you're tilting your hips properly. Most of us have anterior tilted hips, which means that this is like this. All right, so you see my fingers, right? You see how they're pointing downward towards the ground? That's the anterior tilt. So it's tilting interiorly, all right, which is anterior's forward, posterior's behind. So it's tilting forward, all right? So you have to pull your hips under yourself to right them, okay? It's a very easy test to do at home. You just grab your hips, point your fingers forward, and when you tilt them upward, so I'm taking my glutes and I'm pushing them under myself and inward. So you gotta push your glutes inward and forward in order to right your hip. So because we haven't developed the mind-body connection, because we don't squat anymore. If this was the 1500s, we'd be squatting every day to lift the bales of hay into the wagon to wheel it into town and sell it in the bazaar. All right, but we don't have that anymore because we got nice comfy ass chairs and cars. All right, so we just don't got it. That's perfectly fine. So you tuck your butt cheeks together and inward, all right, like this. All right, it's kind of weird, but it straightens out that anterior pelvic tilt, and you have to be conscious of this. Do this every day, all right, because this is gonna fix your anterior pelvic tilt. It's gonna strengthen your abs and your glutes because these are weak, all right? And your lower back is tight and your hip flexors are tight. So that's why everything's all out of whack. So you gotta flip it. So you gotta make the hip flexor and the lower back extended so they're relaxed, and you gotta tighten up the glute and the abs to fix the problem. So consistently doing this every day is going to strengthen those muscles and allow your body to have its natural form again. So the hamstring stretch is put your left foot forward, all right, and then take your right hand up against a wall, all right, and then you're going to leave your hips in that form that I just told you, all right, but you don't have to try so hard, all right, and you're gonna push your chest forward. And the farther you push your chest, you should feel it burning back in here, all right, like right under the butt cheek. That's exactly where you wanna feel it, all right? So I'm putting my hand up here because you're supposed to do this up against a wall, all right? So you put your foot, your heel on the ground, your toes against the wall, and you put your opposite hand against it, and then you slide the hand up while pushing your chest towards the wall, all right? But you want to puff your chest out and have it big and push your chest this way, upwards and forwards, not just forwards. Upwards and forwards. So that's why you're reaching with this opposite hand. So go ahead and do this. Hold this stretch for about 15 seconds each side. 5, 10, 15. All right, you will feel your glute, or not your glute, your calf tighten as well, or stretch, as I should say. That's fine. It's all part of the lower posterior chain, but as long as you're feeling it in here, you're feeling a little stretch at the bottom of your butt cheek, the top of your hamstring, that's good. That's what we want. So play around with your hips, tilt them out, feel it out. All right, your body, you have to develop the mind-body connection, so twist it, turn it, tilt it, until you feel it light up in the hamstring. All right. Now, the reason we did this is because we're about to do what's known as a single leg glute bridge. All right. So, with the single leg glute bridge, you're gonna lay on the ground. You're gonna have your heel in front of your knee. Okay, slightly. All right, should be about 2 inches in front of it. Don't worry so much about that placement. But you extend this leg and you raise yourself up. All right, you're driving through your heel to raise your glutes up. All right, you're gonna hold it at the peak for 1 to 2 seconds, and you're gonna slowly lower yourself by reducing the force you're outputting in your leg. You're not just gonna relax it so that you fall to the ground by gravity. 6, you're gonna slowly lower it so that we get all 3 movements to the exercise so you get the maximum benefit of it. 8, 10 there. 5, 10. Good shit, guys. I'm proud of you. All right, now we're gonna do everybody's favorite. We're gonna do what's known as low to high planks. Whatever. So with these, you're gonna have your shoulders directly above your wrists again, all right? Because this is how you create a foundation. This is how you're creating a rigid foundation, like the steel beams inside of a skyscraper. It's the same thing, all right? This is just how physics works. So you put the weight above the foundation. If you have it tilting to the side in any which way, the building's gonna fall over. It's just physics. So we gotta keep you on a good foundation. All right. Now, you're gonna keep your core slightly tight like we were doing with the boat holds, and you're gonna lower yourself onto your elbows and then back up to your hands. Ten. 20. 30. Now with that, you'll notice my butt was poking up. You want to resist that. All right, you want your body to be a rigid and straight formation. All right, your body, like I said, is going to want to go into the easiest, the pathway of least resistance, okay? Because we're comfort-driven beings. All right, so you have to fight that urge, which will develop you mentally, and force your body to do what you want it to do so that it grows. Now, we're gonna do something a little silly, but effective. These are what's known as side hops, okay? So you're gonna lower yourself like we're doing with the squat. All right, and you're gonna have to readjust constantly, it's fine. Okay, don't sweat it. All right, get low, and then kick your foot over to hit the other foot and to kind of gallop from side to side. Keep lowering yourself. Don't lower your torso, lower your ass. Kick the foot into the next foot to push it over. 20. Don't fall. So give you a nice burn in your legs. 30. All right. So guys, I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you guys for taking this first step into your journey. I'm proud of you guys for putting effort in. Even 1% more effort than yesterday is lights and bounds ahead of everybody else. Because most people are too afraid to even step out here into the arena. Fuck yeah, you guys are Spartans. Get that shit in your mind. You're out here standing in the arena. You're out here taking the punches, taking the blows, fighting the life or death fight. Because while your life might not be under threat like some with a gun, it's your health, it's your future. It's the same damn thing. All right, so give me 2 more sets of that, guys. God bless you all, I'm proud of you. And like I said, if you can't do 2 more sets, wait 5 minutes, get a drink, come back out and give it another shot. You might surprise yourself.